with coverage you can count on. This is the Erie News NOWCAST.
All right, good Thursday morning. Thanks for jumping on Facebook Live. A little late with the start of our Nowcast for you, but we do want to check some of the stories we are continuing to follow here at Erie News Now. Beginning with a new threat for some of the areas already hit hard by the remnants of Hurricane Ida across the northeastern U.S. Millions now facing potential for flash flooding. We're talking about parts of New York, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania. Now, the first storm since Ida really ravaged the Northeast, now forecast to continue into this Thursday. The Weather Service says it really won't take much more at this point as far as rain when it comes to flooding problems. There's also the possibility of some damaging winds and severe hail from these new storms. Those possibilities stretch from Virginia up to Vermont. President Biden expected to lay out his administration's new strategy to try and slow down the spread of COVID-19. The Delta variant really continues to spread across the country, and the president's announcement comes as America's second biggest school district, the Los Angeles School District, gets set to approve a vaccine mandate for its students. That's going to happen later on today. It all comes one day after America set a new record with more than 2,300 children in hospitals across the country with COVID-19. That's according to the Department of Health and Human Services. Now, the CDC says more than 55,000 children have been hospitalized with COVID since August of last year. And many of those kids, they say, had no known pre-existing conditions. The vast majority of those hospitalized patients unvaccinated, according to the CDC. The American Academy of Pediatrics says kids account currently for more than a quarter of all the new COVID cases across the country. I want to get you a live look at the Capitol building down on Capitol Hill in Washington this morning. Capitol Police looking to re-erect that fencing outside the Capitol complex, all ahead of a right-wing rally that's set for D.C. September 18th. The event called Justice for J6, and this one's all about supporting people who are currently in jail for the January 6th riots. A source says the Capitol Police Board's likely to authorize putting that temporary fencing back up. That rally in support of the more than 500 people charged in the Capitol attack. It's being organized by a group that's called Look Ahead America. It's led by a former Trump campaign official. Lawmakers should be relatively safe. The House of Representatives won't be in session the day of that rally. The Justice Department now expected to file suit against the state of Texas challenging their new restrictive abortion law. Attorney General Merrick Garland said Monday the DOJ was urgently exploring all of its options to potentially challenge that Texas law. It prohibits abortions once medical professionals can detect cardiac activity that's usually around the 6-week mark. Well, about 1 week after Erie News Now showed you video of players and fans scrambling for safety after a fight in the stands at a local high school football game spurred what turned out to be unfounded reports of gunfire, Erie school leaders now reevaluating their decision to potentially make cuts to the district's police force. And we did show you these images last week out of that Prep Erie High matchup called off after this fight broke out in the stands in the third quarter. Well, last night, the Erie School Board was looking at some new safety recommendations, one that would temporarily increase the size of the district's police force to 18 officers. It would more than double the size of that force. Those extra officers would focus on safety at football games. No final decision yet. It's all expected to be the focus of an upcoming board meeting. And you can add another high school football game to the list of canceled contests for this weekend because of COVID. This weekend's game between Cambridge Springs and Northwestern has been called off due to some positive COVID test results within the Cambridge Springs program. It's the fourth District 10 game to be called off this week for basically the same reason. Other impacted schools include McDowell, General McLean, Oil City, Maplewood, and Sagertown. All right, we're now just 2 days away from marking 20 years, of course, since the terrorist attacks of 2001. You can join us here on Erie News Now for a series of special reports tomorrow right into Saturday. Our coverage begins Friday morning here on Erie News Now Sunrise. I'll be live outside the Blasco Library for a special look at Erie's 9/11 Memorial, as well as a preview of Saturday's service there. We're also going to have special 9/11 reports across our shows all day long. Again, that's Friday into Saturday morning. Wake up Saturday morning for that special edition of Erie News Now Sunrise. We'll have special coverage on Erie CW as well as on Facebook Live. Again, all marking 20 years since the terrorist attacks of September 11th. Local coverage you can count on. And we're headed into a big night this Thursday for football fans, the start of an even bigger weekend as the 2021 NFL season kicking off tonight down in Tampa, Florida. Looks like we've got some dark clouds over Raymond James Stadium. A live look at that, the site of tonight's game down in Tampa, Florida. The defending Super Bowl champion Buccaneers going to take on the Dallas Cowboys. Of course, the Bucs led by future Hall of Fame quarterback Tom Brady. It's his 22nd season in the NFL. That Bucs-Cowboys matchup set to kick off at 8:20 tonight on WICU Channel 12. The Browns will take on the Kansas City Chiefs on Sunday. The Steelers are headed to Buffalo to battle the Bills. And you were talking earlier, going to be a hot one for the Browns and Chiefs.
Yeah, Chiefs and Browns out west on a Sunday, and we got temperatures at about 90 degrees. Pittsburgh and Buffalo up there in Orchard Park, a little bit more modest, 76 degrees, still fairly mild for this time of year. All the games will be dealing with sunshine. Of course, we kick off the season tonight down there in Tampa. The Cowboys taking on the Bucs only on WICU. Right now, as we look outside, out over the bayfront, some of those scattered clouds overhead. We have had reports of water spouts out there, at least near northeast. You can actually you can look at our Facebook page. I just shared some of those water spout images there. So you may be watching the Nowcast, but if you refresh the page and then look up, you'll be able to see those images there and a little video as well. Cool stuff. Right now, 65 degrees in Harbor Creek, 65 also in Waterford. We've got middle 60s back there into Warren, 63 into Jamestown, and 59 for you in Kane. Weather impact index for today, still got it at a 1 because we're looking at a few showers showing up later on in the day. Otherwise, just partly cloudy skies. Right now, we'll notice some of those clouds kind of billowing up as temperatures do warm up a little bit. We've had a little bit of rain, and yeah, there were some water spouts again over there near northeast, just offshore of northeast, with some of those developing showers, but really not looking at any sort of imminent threat with any of those water spouts. They generally remain over land and could be a hazard to boaters if boaters will be out today. All right, Futurecast. For us, you can see that we've got maybe a stray shower back there into a western New York, also into the mountains of northwest PA. Another little area of moisture coming on in, generating some showers towards 5, 6 o'clock. So if you have any evening plans to be outside, maybe do a little outdoor dining, just be mindful that we may have a little bit of rain. Won't be a washout, but if you get one of those showers, that will cause you to scurry inside fairly quickly. For your Friday, still hanging on to those annoying rain chances, maybe a couple of showers around for the day on Friday, but in general, we're looking at more in the way of sunshine. We're only around about 70 degrees for today, upper 60s elsewhere. Scattered clouds, a couple of late afternoon showers trying to work their way through. Meadville, Sagertown, New Richmond out there towards Titusville, upper 60s for you folks. And into Warren County we go. A nice, delightful day. Rather cool in Scandia, only 64 degrees. But summertime returns. We'll talk about that heat in just a moment.
First, though, it's the story of a landlord who apparently painted over a cockroach rather than remove the cockroach from a tenant's home. The internet's really had some fun with this one. Check out the picture that the woman posted to Twitter. Yeah, this appears to be a cockroach basically embedded into her wall, covered up with a coat or two of paint. Now, despite the potential horror from this photo, the immediate response from Twitter was, to flood the social network with memes. Many of the memes reference pop culture, from Star Wars to 300, and I don't know, this is just downright creepy, but I suppose if you want to embrace it, it's a real live wall hanging. There you go. All right, now on to the story of a giant Cinnamon Toast Crunch mascot that was kind of also causing some kind of creepy concerns at a ball game last night. Miami Marlins also potentially nightmare fuel for some Major League Baseball fans. Yeah, look right behind home plate. It's staring you down, a giant piece of cereal. Apparently a mascot, a promotional stunt by the folks down in Florida, the Marlins and Twins, teaming up with General Mills for this cereal promotion. This appears to be just staring into my soul right now. Broadcasters were taking guesses initially at what it was supposed to be. Started off guessing SpongeBob SquarePants. Eventually, figured out it was a Cinnamon Toast Crunch piece. Thankfully, not blocking the view of too many fans, because down in Miami at those Marlins games, the crowds are limited at best, David.
Yeah, that was really the first thing I noticed, other than the Cinnamon Toast Crunch figure just staring at you. Yeah, well, I guess you got to bring some attention to the Miami Marlins this time of year. Hey, they're not much better than my Cubs, so I can't really say too much. Temperatures over the next couple of days, we're in the upper 70s to around 80 degrees as we get into the weekend. Just a couple of spotty showers out there over the next 2 days. We get into next week, we're 82 degrees on Tuesday. A nice little warm up in store for us, maybe a few more showers by then. So from a fall-like to certainly more like summer as we venture into the weekend.
A reminder, special coverage of Erie's 9/11 memorial service. We're preparing for that one on Saturday. We'll have that live coverage coming up for you tomorrow morning on Erie News Now. Sunrise starts at 5 a.m. Our next full report, 30 minutes of news, comes your way at noon on WSEE. I'm Mark Saldaday. Have a great Thursday.